This is a quick demonstration of FieldMonitor using the Sony a6300. I'm using the 16 to 50mm power zoom lens, so I can demonstrate a power zoom. But aside from that, this applies to any of the controllable Sonys. Let me mention that the Alpha series, most of them by default, come with Smart Remote embedded as their remote control app. This does not allow for any control within FieldMonitor, just monitoring, so you can see what the camera is doing, but you won't be able to control it. Instead, go to the Play Memories Camera App Store and install Smart Remote Control. Smart Remote Control does give you the controls within FieldMonitor, so you can control your camera remotely. Let's start off by setting a couple of things inside FieldMonitor. I go into Settings and turn on Auto Load First Source. It's also useful to turn on the rocker control heads-up display. Makes things easier to see. We'll switch the camera on, and I'll go into my applications list and turn on Smart Remote Control. On the iPhone, I'll go into Wi-Fi settings so I can connect up to the camera. The first time you do this, you'll have to enter the password shown on the camera. I've done it before, so I just have to select the camera's network and then open FieldMonitor. Once the camera is detected, it's loaded up automatically, and after a few seconds, the picture and the interface appear. FieldMonitor gives me controls across the bottom for exposure and color, and a zoom rocker on the side. I can demonstrate this quickly. It's a single-speed zoom. It's not very sophisticated, but it does help you position the lens. In terms of lag, both the camera and FieldMonitor have a bit of lag. In this case, the camera is showing about 2 or 3 frames of lag on its LCD, and FieldMonitor is showing about 5 or 6 frames of lag. In terms of user controls, you can adjust the white balance of the camera and any exposure controls appropriate to the mode you're in. If you hold down a rocker control, it'll cycle through its values and only update the camera when you release it. You can also come in and tap it once and again to incrementally change things. But if you do it too quickly, the camera can get a bit confused. So if you want to do large changes, it's better to hold it down and then release it when you've got the value you like. A very nice thing about the Sonys is they have superb hybrid phase detection autofocus. So when you're in video mode, you can cleanly snap focus between foreground and background. Unfortunately, in remote mode, you have no control over the focus point that's being used for autofocus. I'm going to change it away from manual exposure now, go into, say, shutter priority to show some of the different controls available. So in shutter priority, aperture is automatically set. I can still adjust ISO and shutter, but I now also have an exposure compensation setting. As I adjust exposure compensation, aperture is adjusted automatically. If I switch the camera into still photo mode, in this case manual exposure, I have many of the same controls that I had before. But one nice thing in photo mode is I now have tap to focus, so I can press and hold on the screen and set my focus point with the appropriate mode setup in the camera. This is a very nice capability, but it only exists in still photo mode. If I switch back to video, I simply don't have any way to set the focus point. This is a limitation of the remote protocol. Sony simply doesn't allow it. I should mention that all the other features of FieldMonitor are available. All the waveform monitors, vector scopes, histograms, the various markers, anamorphic distortion, image flipping, and so on and so forth. However, Sony does not allow the use of picture profiles in remote mode, so there's no log shooting possible. When in movie mode, you can start recording from FieldMonitor, and of course you can also stop recording. Use either the camera controls or FieldMonitor to control recording. In stills mode, by the same token, you can take a photograph. And that's really all there is to it. Thanks for watching.